Number 6, mentally strong couples don't try to fix each other. That is a very common one. We have this tendency that we want to change our partner to the better. And that is actually quite detrimental for our relationship. That shows up in different ways. It could be unwelcome feedback about our partner's behavior, or we're giving them a lecture. We're putting a lot of energy towards wishing that our partner would change or live up to their potential, what we see as their potential. Why do we do this? Why do we try to fix our partners? Because, of course, nobody likes to see someone suffer that they love. We might be worried that one of their habits is damaging their health and ultimately affecting us, maybe in terms of losing this person earlier than we would like. These habits that we try to fix range from habits like smoking, drinking, spending habits, to someone's chronic lateness or someone's shyness and ability in social situations. The most important thing to realize is, of course, that we cannot make anybody stop their behavior, and we cannot control the choices somebody makes. Our partner needs to really want to change. They need to be motivated to change a habit. Don't lecture them, nag, beg, or manipulate them. All of that won't work. It will backfire. The person will get even more defensive, dig their heels in even more. When you're tempted to do that, Amy Morin suggests to think of getting a lecture as a kid. And I actually love that part in her book. It's on page 133, and I just want to read it out to you because it really brings the point home how useless it is to lecture and how counterproductive. She says, when you were a kid and an adult lectured you, what were you thinking about during that lecture? You probably weren't thinking, this person is so smart. They're making amazing points right now and telling me things I hadn't even thought of. I am so glad they're enlightening me. I'm going to change my behavior right away. If you're like most people, you sat through that lecture thinking about how much you despise the person lecturing you. And you might also think of a strategy to make that lecture stop rather than changing your behavior. If you want to get through to your partner, instead of lecturing, say something like, I love you so much, sometimes I worry about you. And then explain how you feel without pressure, without guilt tripping the other person. And if they insist that they're fine, back off. You won't be able to get through. If they're willing to talk about a particular issue, a particular struggle or challenge, be really curious and just listen. Listen to how they feel, what their thoughts are, and how they think they'll handle the situation. Meanwhile, we all have bad habits. Let your own actions speak. Focus on your own habits. Your talk as far as the things are concerned that you want your partner to change, but also other habits. If you go for regular walks or to the gym, or you eat healthy and so on, the partner might be encouraged to join in. Instead of criticizing what you don't like, show your appreciation for positive behavior. Show your appreciation and how happy you are when your partner is actually doing what you long for. So, for example, instead of criticizing that your partner always works late, say something like, I love it when we can spend this much time together at night and really talk, or go for a walk, or do something together. When your partner wants to change, is taking steps towards changing a habit, you need to understand that motivation doesn't go in a straight line. Some days we're more motivated to make change, other days less. There will be setbacks, that is normal. Encourage your partner to let it go instead of giving completely up. Encourage them that tomorrow is a new day, and understand that we all go through ups and downs when we change a habit, because making changes is not easy. Your partner talks about what he or she wishes they could do, would do. Be curious. Amy Morin calls this change talk. This is an opportunity to simply listen, and you could say something like, what could we do to make this change happen? If the problem is that you're trying to fix your partner, remember that people know lots of things aren't healthy for them. They know cigarettes, alcohol, junk food, too much social media, a lack of sleep, that all of that is bad for you. That is not a motivation to change, so you might as well stop reminding them. Instead, like I already said before, take care of your own health, your own social life, your own spiritual life, and overall your psychological well-being. You might also need to take care of your habit of fixing people if this is something that you regularly do. Of course, if we're talking about serious addiction issues, including gambling problems, you need professional help. If you're in a situation where your partner is trying to fix you, it is really important to bring this up and to share how this makes you feel. Let them know that this is really frustrating and demoralizing. Let them know that it makes you feel not enough and actually is counterproductive. And then share with them what support would actually be helpful. And if your behavior directly affects your partner, you definitely need to listen to them. Let's say it's your spending habits. You need to acknowledge how they feel. Perhaps they're really anxious about the budget or about the future, your financial future together. So make sure you don't discount that or minimize how they feel. Accepting each other makes you much stronger as a couple. Now you can direct your energy towards how you want to respond to a habit or behavior rather than trying to change your partner's habit. And you can get out of unhealthy dynamics that belong into a parent-child relationship or are a teacher-student relationship. That is an unequal relationship, and it's not surprising if a partner who is being treated like a child acts like a rebellious teenager. It is not your job to fix your partner's behavior. It is your job to manage how you respond to their behavior and to make sure that your needs are taken care of. Remember that we're all imperfect. And the interesting thing is, often when the fixer stops fixing, you can see that the partner takes responsibility for their habits and makes changes. Amy Morin mentions common traps people can fall into. She talks about the label codependent, and I totally agree with her that this is an overused or falsely used label, and to be mindful and avoid this label. It was originally termed for wives of men with substance abuse issues. Over time that label expanded, but the point is codependency is a survival strategy that is born out of a certain situation. It is not a mental health issue. It is a strategy that you can unlearn. Don't trick your partner into changing a habit. It won't work. Here is an example. My dad meant well when he was trying to trick my mom into drinking non-alcoholic beer after she was in the hospital with her second cancer operation. So he tried to hide the label, giving her non-alcoholic beer. Of course, that didn't last. The moment she realized she wasn't drinking her usual beer, it backfired. It might have been more successful if he had been honest from the start and had said, let's try some non-alcoholic beer. I'm concerned about you after your cancer operation, and let's try as many as we need until you find one that you really like. Sometimes a couple agrees on the issue, but they disagree on the approach to fix the issue. For example, one partner might want to take the route of Western medicine while the other partner is more into alternative medicine. Support your partner in their way, in their efforts. And last but not least, as always with these videos, here are some ideas to start a conversation with your partner if either one of you or both of you are trying to fix the other one. You can ask your partner for an example of a time when they were tempted to fix something about you, but they didn't. Or an example of a time when they appreciated that you didn't fix something about them. You could ask them, if I notice a habit that is not good for you, how would you hope I would handle it? That's a very good one. You could discuss, how can we be sure to support each other and challenge each other to be our best selves? That's it for today. Until next time.